Well, hello. Every gal needs a cowboy hat.
Scanning the room, you look for a familiar face. Everyone is a stranger. Your heart's racing, you feel nauseous. New plan. You meet 4 new people. Okay, 3. 2? You can handle 2. And then you think, I hate this. This just feels so fake. And before you talk to even 1 new person, you're looking for the nearest exit.
Okay. Crazy. Yo, who invited this chick?
My heart races when I walk into a room full of strangers too. Except it's not anxiety, it's excitement. I'm not thinking networking quota. I'm thinking, look at all these stories. And I get so pumped about talking to people that I don't know.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Well, hello everyone and happy Thursday. My name is Gail Robertson and this is Show Up with GailNow Live. So today we're going to be talking not about Thursday, we're going to be talking about Wednesday wisdom, and we have a special guest and one of my favorite topics, talking about networking. And you know, with everything happening recently and moving over to virtual, and as much as I love virtual events and I love connecting online and social, there's nothing quite like being in person and connecting with people live. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome our very special guest here today, who is known as a bit of the king of networking locally here in Windsor, Essex County, Frank Abbruzzese. So welcome, Frank.
Hello, thanks, Gail. Hope everybody's laughing like I was. That was an awesome intro.
Well, thank you very much for that. And you know what? You got to have fun, right? You got to have fun with, and I'm going to do something. I'm just going to switch us here. There we go. I'm going to go on that side and I'll bring up. So Frank, we've known each other. We think about a decade now, right? We're going back a little bit. And one of the things that when we first met, speaking of a bit of humor, we met in stealth mode. So for those of you who want to in on this little inside joke, when we first met, I was working in a company that had an IT company. Frank was the CEO of an IT company. And I thought at the time, because it was one of the divisions of the company, and I thought, oh, what if people saw us together and talking, and what would happen about that? And Frank, maybe you want to tell from your perspective about when you first met me and what you thought of that stealth mode.
Well, I remember walking up to you and asking for a selfie, and you go, I don't think I'm allowed to be seen talking to you.
And how life has changed, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, I like taking my selfies and also realizing how networking has changed, how social media has changed, and how we evolve. That was going back to my new days too on Twitter, because we also met on Twitter as well. That was we connected there and then in person. And so, how did you get the title of the king of networking in this local area? Why is networking important to you?
I don't know how the title came, but someone gave me a crown one day. I forgot to wear it today for you, Gail. But networking is something that I've always enjoyed, being around people, meeting people, going to events. Anytime there was an event going on in the in-person days, I just went out there, and just like your intro, you know, a little anxiety at the beginning, not knowing anyone. So I can relate to everything you did in the intro in the early days for sure.
That's interesting, because a lot of people may think that you that this just came naturally or that it came easy for you. And you know what? I'm not really sure. So what at first, can you maybe help some people who might be out there listening and saying, oh, I hate networking. It's so like,
At the beginning, I always went with someone where now I go solo, and I recommend going solo. And even if you go with someone, sit at a separate table for sitting down than that person. But in the beginning, I used to run around and give out and collect cards. I used to, get 20 cards and thought it was a great networking event. Today, it's 1 to 3 people that I meet that I want to follow up with. So that has really changed over the years.
One of the things that I remember most clearly about our meeting, Frank, is that, yes, we met as people, and also through other people. The picture I posted today on LinkedIn was with Yvonne Pilon, who's another networker, and she was really my inspiration for Twitter. I remember going and listening to her talk at an event, and that seems so far out of reach to have, people that you connected with online. So how do you how do you use social media maybe to help with some of your live networking as well?
So social media, I love LinkedIn. That's probably my favorite one. Just like your post today, we gave some people some shout outs. We got immediate comments and tractions. That was really exciting to see you do that, Gail. Twitter is a nice one, for pictures and what's happening now. I was shy on Facebook for a while on the business side of it. I always looked at it as family, but now I'm using it for networking events, and it's bringing a new audience as well, which is kind of exciting.
That's it, because I find like I don't use Facebook as much, except maybe for friends and family. I kind of there in the background, but what's interesting what you just said is that all platforms have their place, and they have the ability to help with those connections. And while we've been talking about social media, the importance of social media, but a lot of people still miss those live events. So let's get right to it and talk about your upcoming event. And then we'll kind of go back and talk about how Wednesday Wisdom came up. But your Wednesday Wisdom is a new live event. So over to you, Frank, talk a little bit about that and why people may want to sign up quickly.
You don't want to miss this. It's next Wednesday. It's going to be the first Wednesday of every month. We're now at patios during this nice, sunny, warm weather. We're going to be at Frank Brewing, 12,000 Tecumseh Road East. The owner there, Shane Malash, is an excellent host, wonderful. He has a lot of picnic tables. Will be social distance, and really exciting. We did the first one at Green Lawn Memorial on Highway 3, first Wednesday of August, and we had 31 people out. And as far as I know, that was the first in-person networking event of 2021. So I was excited to do another first, and we've done a lot of firsts in Windsor, and very proud of having that in-person networking event. Come on out next Wednesday.
And here's a little, if you want to maybe see Frank having some fun. Frank is on the left there. That was at a TEDx where we did have a selfie. Look there's us.
We did.
Selfie at the TEDx. That must have been, I was going to say our coming out party, but that didn't have a whole
It was a couple years ago. It's not as much white in there.
But one thing, if Frank and myself, if we're at a party, there's going to be some fun.
Always.
And I see there's Laura in the background. Yes, there's a few other people in the background there. So so I was looking around in my photo files. I know there's more photos, but those are a couple of the fun photos. I see some people are also commenting, and someone said, love the tip about the business cards because it is quality over quantity. And I often tell people that, going into a networking event, it's so important to get to know people rather than just try to sell them, rather than to try to, thrust your business card at them. It's better to first start a conversation. So I love that tip, and someone else commented on that too. So thanks for sharing. So Frank, Wednesday Wisdom. Now you also had a previous group that ran this, help me with that, the Circle.
Windsor Essex Circle.
Windsor Essex Circle.
Yes.
So it's evolved. So you went from working with someone to now you're going solo with Wednesday Wisdom, hosted by yourself. So how did that come about?
So last year, it seemed like we had so many virtual meetings happening. And around the fall, many people were asking me where to actually network, because they were kind of, we're all fatigued from being online. And they kept saying, is there any networking events online? And, there were a few, but not a lot. And so Boxing Week, I always do a nice reflection on, what can we do in the new year? And first out of the gate, January 6th, the first Wednesday, we ran a virtual networking event, and we ran it every single Wednesday. We've had good audience. We've had, about 20 to 25 and sometimes 30 people on. And basically, simple format. Everyone had the opportunity to say their name, what they do. And why we chose Wednesday Wisdom at 11 o'clock on Wednesdays is, at noon is the middle of the week. So it was a nice way to network virtually and say hello to everyone, meet some new people, and, head into the second half of the week from that. So that was kind of like the tongue in cheek there that I came up with.
I love it. And now spending time, we talked about you spending time during that between Christmas and New Year's, or Boxing Week, and spending time just thinking and reflecting. That sort of ties into what I talk about is sign up, suit up, and show up. And part of suiting up is the preparation, doing your research. So how is that important to you, taking that time to reflect?
So during that time, what I thought about was for showing up is how can we make something successful? And to show up, those of you on my list, of course, I got permission from everyone that I'm emailing. Every Monday morning, I send out a reminder about the Wednesday event that was coming up virtually. And I think that was the key in being successful. And Monday, I sent out the reminder for next Wednesday, now that we're only in person once a month. So I might just do that twice a month now and send it out. But to me, that's important, is what's a little extra that you can do to show up and be successful?
That's a great one. Now, I don't know, do you have any stories that jump to mind of someone that you met because of networking? And I know I have one very special story, but do you have one that stands out as someone that you met that maybe you wouldn't have crossed paths with, or it led to something either work-wise or just a really cool person to add to your life?
So at a networking event, I met a business owner several times. We never exchanged business cards because we both knew each other, but maybe we didn't really know each other. And from the 3 times bumping into this gentleman, I thought, I'm going to connect on LinkedIn. He accepted. And I sent 6 emails over 3 years. Happy summer, happy holidays. And after the 6th one, I had a response and said, his response was, I always chuckle, I have no idea what you do, but I know one thing. Our 2 teams have to get together. And he moved his business to AlphaCore, and I was just blessed with that. And it was a good story, which would have never happened had I not bumped into him in networking events.
Frank, that to me is golden. I'm going to use that story in some of my training, because a lot of times people think this is immediate, and networking is all about, is connecting and building relationships. And I know you get that. That's something I believe in. And it takes time. It's nurturing, and that sums up you so well, because I know you helped me with something recently. I came to something with there wasn't even going to probably be, it was through someone I knew that needed a bit of help and guidance, and you spent time giving me some information I was able to pass on. And that says so much about that relationship building. And look at when you did that over time, probably no expectation really, and it's sort of like the jackpot when you actually get business. So that is great. I'll do my quick shout out. My story is, I'm going to say one that's a person that's here is Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is here, and she says the memories of stealth mode. Because I used to work with Chi-Chi at a previous job too. And we met through work, and then we met at a Christmas party, and now we've evolved over time to do some other, we've actually, passed along names, helped each other. And even though I'm not in insurance anymore, she is. And the other person is Elizabeth Hernandez. Elizabeth, I met through, she was trying to connect with me. We connected on LinkedIn, and then now we are not only great friends, but we actually do work together. And a lot of the same thing with Yvonne, right? Yvonne and I met through at a distance, and then over time, it's sort of that intertwining. And so next week's event, I would say I'm going to bet it's going to be sold out, because we're already at half capacity. We don't need to get 23 more people. So I bet today, as well as once word spreads about all these great networking and that story, how you got business, How can you not come to this event, my friend?
It's 5 o'clock. There's no excuse.
Frank's Brewing Company in LaSalle, and plus it's a fun place. You know what? I love too that it's a local brewery, and there will be, I'm sure, many stories that as we reconnect with some people. So looking forward to having that place just a rockin'. We'll need to have a little music. I hope there'll be music.
Music.
Oh, well, there's going to be so much talking. There'll be no
Yeah.
time for music. No time for music. Or just we're connecting up. So I know. Hopefully, we'll see Chi-Chi there. Maybe Chi-Chi's in our comments, and I see a few other comments of Cassandra wrote patience and networking. Something I learn more every day. But you know what, Cassandra, that is so true. Everything takes time when it's going to lead you to success, whether it's something to do with fitness, whether it's something to do with networking, whatever we take on it's whether losing weight, it's something that takes time. So Frank, now you also have done some health related things too. So anything else you want to talk about in terms of your own, just things you do that maybe have helped with your business, helped with networking, anything else cool in your life? Because I know you are a very focused person.
How much time do we have?
You're doing great. You're fine.
On the networking part of it, a couple things I really want to stress. It's tough to effectively listen, like to really focus on the person, eye contact. I tend to wander and I'm looking all the time at everyone else. I want to be in the know of everything, but eye contact is very important, and to ask the person to share their story and follow up with them. That is a big thing to do. Wednesday Wisdom is really about you and about teaching people how to network. We have people that have never networked before, having people come out to events for the first time, and for the veterans to also network with each other. The other tip is don't hang with the people you know. Gail and I know each other. We'll probably say a quick hello. Wasn't that fun last week on GailNow Live? And then we'll move on to talk to new people and introduce people to each other, because it's awkward to be standing on the outside looking in. And I found that welcoming people really does help. For Alpha Core, we're so proud to have our company here in the city for 26 years. We're helping organizations all over the world run safe and securely. This pandemic, we really reached out and helped a lot of people. Back in March, I started interactive webinars. I ran 2 sessions a week just for people to talk. It was like therapy. And, when you're doing things with good intentions, I'm not here, buy this widget, or we have a sale, or you need to do this. It's never selling. It's building a relationship, generally helping people. And, just like the story of the networking on LinkedIn, eventually if someone needs your services or products, they'll ask. It's okay to bring it up, but I would build a relationship first and see if you can help the other person. And it's self-rewarding after, when they say, thank you for making that connection. Thank you for helping me.
And you said something, sharing your story. This is another area that people sometimes are reluctant. I did a post yesterday about, it was a somewhat more motivational, kind of love yourself, but also about, celebrating your wins and sharing your story and sharing your success, because sometimes people are reluctant. They think it's bragging or it's egotistical. But I always tell people, I said, you know what, there is that fine line, but when you cross it. So it is important to also, as you said, listen, ask other people about their story. It's fascinating when you go to an event and can learn about people. And I will say this too, because Frank, I know you do this well. And for people like us, we will be there. So if we see someone that may be a little bit uncomfortable, I always make sure I try to go welcome and bring them in. So if someone's listening today and really wants to come out to this, even if they send a direct message to myself or to you, Frank, I'm sure we would make sure we are there at the door waiting to welcome them in, because it is great. I'm excited that it's a live event in this area. And now, anything else that you want to share in terms of networking, or maybe we did a little teaser talking about maybe sharing some fun tips about cybersecurity and IT, because we all need to have a little fun with that, because it's a very serious topic though. But what is a couple of things just for people, if they do nothing else, when it comes to security, especially since we are talking about more online networking, virtual networking? Is there sort of 3 things you might suggest, a couple of things you'd say, do this if you do nothing else?
So for cybersecurity, it's definitely the hottest topic, and it's become exponential during this pandemic, unfortunately. A couple things to do is change your passwords and change them often. And, as we head into the fall, don't put fall 2021 or autumn 2021. That's the most common besides the 1, 2, 3, 4. Change those passwords. Don't use the same password for your online banking as you do for your Netflix or something else, your Amazon account, etc. You need to change them up because if your credentials get breached, they will get into everything. Question everything that you get when your accounts have been breached or they're asking for passwords. Right now, spoofing is a huge thing that the world is dealing with. I can't stop someone from impersonating me, and you can't stop someone from impersonating you. I'm Gail Robertson. I sent you an email. You need to look at the email to make sure it says, who is it from? Just because it says the name, anybody can put the name. In your cell phone, we're getting spoofed as well with texting and phone calls. So we're working with CRTC to find out what are they going to do with the telcos, because anyone can put any phone number that they want. And, I've been out there 26 years with social media. My cell number's out there. So people want to impersonate Frank Abbruzzese. I'm not sure why, but it's easy to do. They just change the number and they're texting and calling, and it's all kinds of crazy things. So our general public gets really upset when that happens. I don't know what you can do about someone impersonating someone. So the thing is, on the other side is, be careful. Don't click on any links in your SMS and your text. So I hope that helps the audience. Gail, if you have any other ideas that you've experienced.
Well, those are great tips. And I do agree that, I always said people that don't like social media, they're afraid of it for all these reasons. And I think we talked about this earlier. I said, it's like back in the horse and buggy day, people didn't like cars too. And they thought, oh my God, it was going to be ruining our society. And we can't go back, and we can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. So toothpaste out of the tube, social media is here, virtual network is here. We now have Zoom accounts and Teams and Google Meets and live shows like this. So, stuff's going to happen. So buyer beware. And this is where I think it's really important to do more. And I know you do this too in terms of training. And I'm a big advocate. I use 1Password. You can use whatever password keeper. It's really, since I've used that, at first it was a little bit tough to get used to using it. Now I don't know how I live without it, because I only have to remember 1Password, and it keeps all of my sites secure. And it's so much easier now too, to keep that. But yeah, cybersecurity, big topic. And I'm sure, maybe next week, as people are coming out next Wednesday, if they wanted to talk to you more about that, they could.
Absolutely.
And, back to our stealth mode meeting, one of the things I think that is so healthy about where I've come to see, networking, is that even competition is a good thing, and it's healthy, and it keeps everybody sharp. And there is, if you believe that there is enough to go around, there's enough to go around. And there is enough. I believe this even with my marketing business, because what I do is very niche. And I think what Alpha Core and what you do is also niche, because you do some, specialized work. So if there's someone out there in IT and cybersecurity or marketing and offering services, other keynote speakers, come on out. Let's share in some wisdom.
That'd be awesome. Wonderful, Gail. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. And so this will be at Frank's Brewing Company, and you can come out and I'm sure test some craft beers.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite craft beer? Or are you're more of a wine, aren't you? Kind of like
Me, at Frank's, I enjoy the Bombshell.
Oh.
Story behind that beer. It was original.
What kind of beer do you like? Ba-dum-bum.
It's funny because it was originally called The Girl Next Door, but it was awkward when people were ordering it. So Jane told me I had to change the name. You go up to the bar and go, "I'd like The Girl Next Door, please," and it just didn't come across. So it's the Bombshell now.
Yeah, it is kind of, yeah. So Frank at Frank's Brewing Company, is that why you picked it, or is that just coincidence?
Yeah.
No. We need a Gale Force Brewing Company. There you go.
Bring your wisdom, your Wednesday wisdom.
Bring your wisdom. And I see a little chat in the chat between Cassandra and Chi and saying, can't wait to meet you, catch up. So I love to see that because I think people will be able to connect up and network at this event. And we have Anger saying, now I wish I lived in Windsor so I could go. I think if everyone knew how great this community was, they'd all want to, we'd be flooded with people that want to move here if they knew the inside, how great it is. So yes. And I know, now Frank, you're from, have you always lived in Windsor?
I grew up in Leamington on a farm. So there's a little tidbit that some people don't know and some people are surprised.
What kind of farm?
So we had all kinds of fruits and vegetable, and mainly was peaches. And this time of year with this weather, peaches are funny where you've got to pick them today. You got to pick them tomorrow. They don't last very long. But cool stuff that people don't know is all those peaches back in the 70s and 80s that we picked had to be into the shipper by 6 p.m. and they're all in the grocery stores in Montreal the next morning.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what our shipper sent them. It's pretty cool, actually.
So were you out picking peaches? What was your job on the farm? Did you
everything? But where my career started was selling at the roadside stand from I'll date myself 1971. And the amount of people that lived on Robson Road and Point Pelee Drive, and we're going to Point Pelee because we were like the last stop on the way out or the first stop on the way in. Back in the day, there were so many people that, bought the sweet corn, the peppers, the zucchini, selling beans by the pound, you name it. And you learned how to talk to people and how to interact. And when you're just a kid, you had no choice.
Well, I want to add, especially for some of the people from Toronto and from the cities that may not know about roadside stands, those are still alive and well in Essex County. And when you go out to the county, you can still stop and pick up peaches and corn and all sorts of
corn, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker's Dozen was a tough concept for my dad to handle because, you work hard and you have to give something for free. A Baker's Dozen's 13, by the way. And the way it worked is whenever they came to look at the corn, they'd open it, put that one aside and take 12 that were closed. So my dad always said, give a small one or give the corn that's open. So, you learn how to take care of people, make them happy and give them good value and talk to them. And they came back year after year.
Yeah, well, that is great. I think way back, I remember having a discussion with you about this, but thank you for sharing that for people who may not know, because that is likely where you learn so much about connecting and listening to people and great customer service. So, Well, we're going to wrap up now and remind everybody that next Wednesday, Wednesday Wisdom will be at Frank's Brewing Company. And either Frank or myself will leave some information in the comment section, and you can email Frank. Get on that list as soon as possible because I bet it's going to sell out. So you want to make sure that as soon as you can, you sign up and you sign up, suit up, and
show up. Just email Frank at alphacore.com. It's that simple.
Oh, there we go. Frank at alphacore.com. Better get on that now then. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks, Frank. I'm going to send you off to the green room. I'll see you in there shortly, and I'm going to just sign off. So I will talk to you soon, Frank.
All right. Excellent. Thank you.
Well, thanks everyone for joining Show Up with GailNow Live today with our guest, Frank, who is having a great live event next Wednesday. And it is 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So that's Eastern Standard Time in case, well, of course, I don't think anybody will be coming from another time zone, but if you are and want to show up, it's in Tecumseh. It's Frank's Brewing Company. It's a great local brewery. And Frank's favorite is Blonde Bombshell, and they have other selections as well. So looking forward to seeing everyone. And you can follow me on LinkedIn. You can follow me on Twitter. And for those of you interested, I am doing a bit of sampling over in TikTok, mostly just exploring that platform as well, because it's very fun. And as a keynote speaker, you got to bring some fun to the stage as well. So I also work in manufacturing, and I'm working to help level up the manufacturing world in marketing. And maybe some manufacturers will want to come out next week as well from the Canadian Association of Mold Makers or Automate Canada as well. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy your Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday and then the weekend. But you know what? Every day can be like the weekend when you love what you do. Okay. Happy day, everyone.